Hi, second grade students. This is a grammar lesson on writing a friendly letter. I want you to get out your reference section, your grammar reference book. And I want you to turn to page 29. 29. And at the top it says a reference 42. Friendly letter sample. A friendly letter is somebody whom you know. It's going to be a friend or family member that you write to. You're going to pretend, when you write, you're going to pretend you're talking face to face to that person. You might want to share a little bit information about yourself or your friends. You can tell stories, conversations, share photographs, drawings, poems. If you're writing a return letter, so if they wrote to you first and you're writing them back, be sure to answer any of the questions they asked you in their letter. And always write in a positive way, no matter who it is. So remember, friendly letters are only written to friends whom you know real well, and family members. You know, maybe grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, and so on. So it's very, very important, though, that you remain safe. Don't write letters ever to people that you do not know. Always check with your parents. They'll know if it's okay. One other person that you can write letters to is teachers, and almost all of you have written me some very nice letters since school closed, a couple months ago now, March, April, May. And I really, really appreciate those letters, very much so. And I plan to write every single one of you this coming Monday, May 18th. In 5 days, all of you will have a letter from me. Anyway, so again, we're on this page here. It's our reference page that shows us a friendly letter sample. Okay, go ahead and look up here at the top. Number 1 is what we call a heading. For now, we're going to use the samples they have in the book, but eventually you are going to do practice friendly letter with your own information. But for now, we're going to do just what they have. So heading, write your address, write the date, and we're going to use their pretend address. And then there's and that's up the right-hand corner of your piece of paper. Now we're going to move over to the left, a little ways down, but not completely. It's not completely to the left of the heading. It's to the left and a little ways down. This is the greeting. Since you know this person that you're writing to, remember it's a friend or a family member, you start with the word dear, D-E-A-R. Dear Grandma, dear Aunt Judy, or whoever. Then you're going to write the body. Most of you will probably remember what an indent is when we did paragraphs earlier in the school year. An indent is where you come in a little bit, maybe half an inch or so from the line and start writing there. And this is what you want to say. Usually letters are going to say a lot more than that, but they kind of kept it simple for you kids, and that's good. Then all over here to the right, you are going to have the closing. You capitalize the first word, like if you put your cousin, comma, Sawyer, or your grandson, comma, Colton, or your grandson, comma, Nathaniel, or your friend, comma, Liam, or your friend, comma, UV. Okay? We are still going to keep what they have here, but I'm just letting you know that this is the part where it's going to be your closing, and then your signature. And since I've taught you kids cursive, you will be able to actually sign your name in cursive. But again, for now, we're just going to take a look at all this. So there's more detailed information here about what a heading is, what all goes there, what the friendly greeting or salutation is, what all goes there for number 2, what all goes in the body for number 3, what all goes in the closing line for number 4, and what all goes, well, that's pretty easy actually. You're the one who wrote the letter when you do write a real letter. And sign in cursive, it suggests here. And usually you only need to use your first name since this is somebody you know real well. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and put our reference books down for a moment. And go ahead and get out the paper, the grammar practice lesson I provided for you. And it is page 71. Okay, and at the top it says Chapter 22, Lesson 2, Practice 1. Again, if I didn't put your names on there, please put your name on right now, just your first name. And let's go ahead and start filling in what they want us to do. They want us to write the parts of a friendly letter in the correct places in the friendly letter below. Okay, so we're going to start. You're not always going to write these words that are in bold. For now, you are though, so you get used to what all these sections are. So number 1, you're going to put heading, H-E-A-D-I-N-G. For now, we're still going to use their address, not your own. 23 Diamond Drive. Kind of ran out of room, so I'm going to do just capital D-R dot for drive. Oh, and remember, streets are proper nouns. They do always need to be capitalized. The cities are always capitalized. So here they have a city called Somerset. You kids should be writing all this too as we go along, okay? Go ahead and keep writing. Somerset, Kentucky. Totally fine to use 2 capital letters for the abbreviation. Oh, I'm going to let my dog in. Hang on. Come on. They didn't, I kind of write big. They didn't give us a whole lot of room for the zip code. Zip codes are more important than city and state though. Zip code is actually short, or it's actually an acronym for Zonal Improvement Program. I can't remember which decade the U.S. Postal Office started it, but they started it so that letters would get to their destinations more easily. Anyway, so this zip code for this is 26400. That, make sure you make the zip code numbers very clear. Okay? Since I ran out of room, I'm going to put below here, I'm going to put July 9, comma. Again, remember, months of the year are also capitalized. They're proper nouns. And then they gave us an opening here for the year. So we're going to put 2020. All right. Now, over here, we are going to go ahead and write the greeting. We're going to put number 2, greeting. Again, what goes in these dark spots, you're not always going to, those don't go in real friendly letters. You're just getting used to what the names of all these places, of all these sections are. So, your greeting, we're going to use what they have. It says, Dear Teresa. Dear, of course, is capitalized, and absolutely a person's first name is capitalized. It too is a proper noun, or it is a proper noun. And always put a comma after, dear whoever you're writing to. Dear grandma, comma. Dear uncle, comma. So on. All right, here I want you to put, this will be the body here. I'm not sure why they have it skip around, but this is the body. So you're going to put number 5, body. And do you remember the word indent? I talked about it a few moments ago. Don't put that arrow. I'm just putting that arrow there so that you can see that that is an indent. Usually it's just going to be a white open space. And then the body, we of course are going to use what they have. My dog had. Okay, from there, I'm going to stop right now. You're going to come back and write the rest of the body on your own. Just copy word for word and all the punctuation that they have for the rest of the body. Okay? For now, though, move forward with me for the closing. We're going to put number 3, closing. Oh, I hope I'm close enough to the computer, kiddos. Let me see. Closing. All right, closing is usually for this practice we're putting your friend as the closing. The first word of your closing should always be capitalized, but the rest doesn't necessarily have to be. So your friend, and then number 4, you're going to write signature. And this, of course, is where your signature goes. For now, again, we're going to use what they have here, Emily. If you think you can put her name in cursive, that would be great. That's great practice for you. So I know I kind of went a little bit fast on those last 2, but go ahead and fill in as much as you can. Again, number 1 over here is the heading. Number 2 over here is the greeting. Number 3 over here is the closing. Number 4 is the signature. And number 5 is the body. So go ahead, please, and go ahead and flip the page with me for now. Come back. If you haven't already filled in these words, please come back to that in a few moments and do that. Let's flip over. I often put on the other side, I put the word optional. And this part is optional. I wrote optional. But this time I do want you to do this section. It's important for you to get used to what the names of all the sections are. So it says, again, and we're on page 72. All we did was flip page 71 over. All right. It says use the information in chapter 22, lesson 2. So that's just what we did just right there. So you might have to flip back and forth, and that's totally fine. Practice 1, to match the definitions. Write the correct letter of the word beside each definition. So you're not going to write words here. You're not going to connect with letters. You're going to write the alphabet letter that matches over here. Let's go ahead and try, find number 1. Number 1 says the person who wrote the letter. Let's see, where would we find that? Is it A? No. Is it B? No. Is it C? No. Is it D? No. Is it E? No. Oh, you know what? We just have not been able to find it. We better flip over and make sure we have what we're supposed to have. But I see right away. It is Emily who wrote the letter. Because at the very bottom it says your friend Emily. So we are going to put Emily is represented by the letter F. We're going to put F up here. Cross that off so you don't keep going back to it. And move on. Person who will receive the letter. Is it 23? No, that's not a person. Teresa's a person, but that's not what we're looking for now. That'll be later for the greeting. That's not a person. Ah, here's the person that the letter is being written to. Flip over your paper if you need to check it out. But Teresa is the person who is being written the letter. Go ahead and put C there, cross off C, and then move on. I want you to do the rest of these on your own. You do have to complete these. This is optional. I would love it though. Some of you kids love to challenge yourself, and I love to challenge you. But I know a lot of you are a little bit overwhelmed, so I'm going to leave it up to your parents if they want you to write your own practice letter, friendly letter. You know, just pretend you're writing to someone. You could write to me if you want, since I'll be reading this and grading it.